4-10. Jesus as a perfect man, the last Adam 1:15. 45, was the only human capable of providing the redemption price for Adam's unborn offspring. He willingly offered himself to die innocently as a perfect human sacrifice, in harmony with Jehovah's will. Heb 10. 5. Jesus will make use of the authority granted by Jehovah on the basis of his ransom to give life to all those who accept this provision. 1:15. 45. Compare 5. 15-17. Thus, Jesus was indeed a corresponding ransom, not for the redemption of the one sinner, Adam, but for the redemption of all mankind. Textoi acute miritra longo. Galilee, located in northern Palestine, was a prosperous and well-populated province in Bible times. To this day its geographic features are inviting. The deep blue Sea of Galilee, the rugged northern terrain, and the fertile plains. Picture below. Here in this picturesque region, Jesus spent most of his earthly life, being raised in the Galilean city of Nazareth. Mount 2. 21-23. Lu 2. 51-52. Farming, shepherding, and fishing were common occupations among the Galileans, and this is reflected in many of Jesus' parables. A hard-working, industrious people, the common Galileans were looked down upon by the Pharisees and chief priests at Jerusalem. Their distinct accent made the Galileans easily recognizable to their fellow Jews. Mount 26. 73. Galilee was the scene of some of the outstanding events of Jesus' ministry. On a mountainside near Capernaum, Jesus gave his famous Sermon on the Mount. Mount 5. 1-2. Here in Galilee, he miraculously healed many persons. Mr. 1. 32-34. 6. 53-56. Joe 4. 46-54. How were Jesus' preaching and miracles received in Galilee? When he preached in his hometown, Nazareth, the people at first marveled at the winsome words proceeding out of his mouth. But after Jesus compared them to the Israelites in the days of Elijah and Elisha, they sought to kill him. 4. 22-30. The Galileans in general, though, were very responsive to Jesus' ministry. Thus, it was from Galileans that his early disciples were drawn, and all of his apostles with the possible exception of Judas Iscariot were Galilean. Mount 4. 18-22. Lu 6. 12-16. The crowd of about 120 disciples that received the Holy Spirit on the day of Pentecost 33 CE were Galileans. Act 1. 15. 2. 1-7. Province of Galilee. The fertile plain of Jezreel, with Mount Tabor in the background on the left. 737. Map based on satellite photo of Galilee. Ruins of Cana. Here Jesus turned water into fine wine. Joe 2. 1-11. Name as it appears now. Jesus brought great joy to a widow here when he resurrected her son. Lu 7. 11-17. Boundary of province roads. Mediterranea Ensica raising Capernaum Bethsaida Magadan Tiberias Sea of Galilee Cana Nazareth Nankadashapos Gadara Ptolemais Dor Megiddo Sepphoris Mount Tabor Mount Carmel Jordan River Valley of Jezreel Esdraelon. Ruins of Capernaum and the northwest shore of the Sea of Galilee. The first century synagogue lies below the later one visible here. From this area Jesus selected fishermen and a tax collector as apostles. Mount 4. 18-22. 9. Tiberias, where Herod Antipas, the district ruler, had his residence and evidently where John the Baptist was put to death. Mr. 6. 21-28. Ruins of Chorazin, a city reproached by Jesus, because its inhabitants were not repentant. Lu 10. 13. The fruitful plain of Gennesaret, where Jesus performed many miraculous cures. Mount 14. 34-36. Surrounded by hills in northern Palestine lies the freshwater inland lake called the Sea of Galilee, Sea of Tiberias, the Lake of Gennesaret. Picture below. Set like a jewel in a deep basin, the lake is located some 210 meters, 700 feet below sea level. It is about 21 kilometers 13 mi long and about 12 kilometers 7.5 mi wide. Both on and around this lake many outstanding events of Jesus' ministry took place. Several times Jesus spoke from a boat to crowds assembled on the shores of the sea. Mr. 4. 1-2. Capernaum, a city on the northern shore, came to be known as Jesus' own city, even though he traveled much of the time. Mount 9. 1. Mr. 2. 1. Jesus walked on the waters of this sea and appeared near it after his resurrection. Joe 6. 1, 16-21. 21. 1, 4-19. Around the Sea of Galilee locations on map with related scriptures Bethsaida Mr. 8. 22-26. Lu 9. 10-17. 10. 13 Capernaum Lu 4. 31-41. Mount 9. 1-13. 11. 23 Chorazin Mount 11. 20-22 Gadara Mount 8. 28-34 Magadan Mount 15. 39. 16. Fork Plain of Mount 14. 34-36 Genesis